I just can't help but to dance, right?
That music will get you going.
Every single time. Have you been following and watching the entire season? If you haven't, I'll tell you, go back, catch up at Couch Time with Sonja, and that's Sonja with a J.com. Welcome to Couch Time with Sonja for our next episode. It's going to be good, right?
You know, we have covered the gamut this season.
Yeah, we really have.
Serious topics, very casual topics, but today, it's about to get real.
Yeah. You know, in all reality, in this day and time, we have to talk about the real topics, the hard topics, the topics no one wants to talk about. And today, I'll definitely tell you, this is a topic that really no one wants to talk about. But we're going to peel we're going to peel the bandage off, and we're going to expose it today. But the beautiful thing about it is, you that are listening, I'm praying that you're listening attentively, but be transparent today. If this is you, we want you to listen, and then we want you to act on it. We're going to take a quick commercial, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonja?
Let's be honest. Making a lukewarm marketing video is fairly simple. But who wants lukewarm marketing? Instead, how about something that conveys your unique message? Well, that takes creativity, and creative is what we are. We design custom logos. We even offer professional print services. Our goal is to showcase how good your idea is, no matter what your product is. Whether it's social media marketing for a new author or the artwork for the book itself, we can help. You've created a new app and need a TV commercial to show it to the world. We can help.
Now they're Stork Advisor.
If you're a photographer trying to show off your work in a unique way, we can help. Need a promo for your TV show? We can help with that too.
It's Couch Time with Sonja.
We're an artistic bunch, and we love the creative process. We're not trying to be the best in Houston. We're trying to be the best for you.
If you would like to be a guest or advertise your business on Couch Time with Sonja, I would love to hear from you. Email me. Visit couchtimewithsonja.com.
CEO Delia Davis is making history by becoming the youngest African-American female to own a television station in the nation. Along with her colleague, President Crystal Holmes, these women are becoming a part of the 1.3% African-American television station ownership. Get ready for iconic television, an all-new channel coming to your TV on KVVV Channel 15.10, covering Houston's local inspiration, entertainment, health, wellness, fitness, family, visual artists, comedians, and more. Streaming 24/7 on iconictelevision.com. Be sure to stay tuned for the latest and greatest on iconic television, where everyone can be iconic.
Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonja?
You know, we're back, and as Sonja mentioned earlier, today's topic is going to be really deep. And it's going to be hard for some of you, some of us, to hear, but we need to hear it. Today's topic, domestic violence and its many faces, is really going to hit home for many of you. I can't wait to jump into this, so let's do this.
And what we want to say to you too is, remember, we said many faces. So domestic violence is not just one face. There's many faces. So listen closely. We want to introduce you to our guest, Miss Tanya Y. Lawson. Hello, beautiful.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Welcome to the couch.
Thank you for having me.
You look so pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, as we've said, we know that today is going to be a deep topic, but we first want to tell you how much we commend you and we honor you, sweetheart, for your transparency and just for the opportunity to use your voice to speak out to the world. So first off, we want to just ask you to start with your story.
Well, I would like to start the fact that I grew up in a Christian background. My father was a pastor, and growing up in the pastor's home, it was a lot of dysfunction going on. A lot of things I've seen that I shouldn't see, a lot of things that happened that I shouldn't happen. But as I recall growing up, being a toddler, my grandfather's funeral, I had one of my relatives was packing me around, and meanwhile, while he was packing me around, he was molesting me at the time, not understanding what was going on, but I knew it planted a seed. From that point on, growing up, I was 14 and became pregnant at the age of 14. Had him when I was 15, but I was raped by one of the gentlemen at my high school. And it started then, thinking it felt normal. Thinking that, because I couldn't tell my mom, I could not tell my dad, because it was a pastor's home. And my mother, when she did find out, she was very angry, very upset. She blamed herself, and they literally took the child from me and said, well, you're going to be who you can be as being a youth and learn and grow and be in sports, and we're going to raise this child. So that was a point of detachment, not understanding why, but I dealt with it. In the home, while I was pregnant, I felt like a Cinderella because I always had to cook, I always had to clean, I was talked at, not talked to. So just the image of my dad's being a pastor, their child is being pregnant. So I went through a lot of, self-hurt in a sense. And then from there, I met my first husband. I was at the age of, let me back up if you don't mind. Because I'm trying to go through the point of aging. While I was a preteen, I had a neighbor. He was very well known as a school teacher. And I still was riding bikes. And my mother would send me to the store, and she would, she has her Civic and her Coke all the time. And then me leaving out of the home, I saw my neighbor. I said, hey, I'm going to the store. Would you like anything from the store? He said, sure. So he gave me money, told me exactly what he wanted. So I went to the store, came back. He was still standing outside. He said, well, go ahead and take your mother her stuff and come right back. And he was on the phone. And from there, I went in, took my mother's stuff, told her I was going to Sue Ann's house, and, I'll be back later on. Went to the gentleman's house. He lured me into the house, and then he proceeded to rape me. And at that time, what saved me, his wife called on the phone, and when he went to pick up the phone, I dashed out of the house, got on my bike, rode to Sue Ann's house, and all of a sudden, the blood and everything was flowing. She thought I started my cycle, not understanding, not knowing anything. I went to proceed to take a shower, rest. Wow, it happened to me again. But when it happened, he threatened me and said that he was going to kill my family, kill my father, if I say anything. So I became norm, like it was normal.
So you truly just reverted and said, I'm going to keep it all in.
Keep it all in.
At the age of 14?
Yeah, it was around about 14, 15 years old. That was shortly after I had my baby. So it kind of happened.
Now, how old were you at the funeral?
I was 2 years old.
Jesus. So from 2 to 14 years old, was it consistent through that time frame of being molested, being touched?
No. The first encounter, it just happened at one time at that moment. But when you say consistent, the incidents happen. Years pass, and then another incident happened. Thinking I was over it, and another incident happened. From there, got married at an early age. I was 19 when I met my husband. He was 7 years older than me. And not knowing at the time, he was already married. So I ended up marrying a bigamist. And his thing was, I'm thinking he working overseas. So I had a spirit of abandonment. And the only thing I had to do was just raise my child. So here come my second child. And I'm thinking, this is all that I have. And he'll come in every once in a while, check on the house. I didn't have to worry about anything. He paid for everything. Right. It was good, but I was young and not understanding.
So did you think he was in the military, or you thought he was away for work? Or?
I just thought he was overseas. Like working on the boat. That's what
Got
he
it.
told me.
Right.
So he'll be gone for like months, or then he'll always send me money. So I had to try to live upon my own, not, you know, being young, not understanding. Well, unfortunately, I started getting really into Christ. Start praying more, start seeking the Lord more, trying to get an understanding who I am, and trying to flow. And God always answers your prayers.
Yes,
I
indeed.
received mail about he got married. So not only he married once, but he married twice.
Wow.
The first wife, when he married her, of course I found out. I thought I was bold. He got, you know, like fought the ex-wife or whatever. He went to jail for it. We remarried. He got, you know, he had to get a divorce from her, so we remarried. So from that, it was fine. You know, I have my husband, and
So even in the midst of you finding out, you still just said okay and forgave him for that and remarried him after thinking that he was being truthful.
true, because the first marriage, he said they were separated. It was nothing. So I just believed that he was all mine. But the second wife was, the mail started coming in about the marriage, and then I got kind of puzzled. So I started talking to him about it, and come to find out he married on me again.
Wow.
So during this time is when Oprah was still fresh, and she came, and I mean she didn't come, but her assistants called me, see if I want to come on the show and talk about bigamous. I didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
I didn't, you know, didn't understand. So I went to college. And when I went to college, I decided to put all that behind me. He was in jail because at the time my parents stepped in and they called the police. And so it was a big commotion about him marrying again. So he ended up going to jail again. I went to college, had this lifestyle in college, loving it. I pledged, and doing me pledging, during the time that we was crossing over, we had like a celebration. And at the time, I was dating a young man off campus, and he invited me over to his home just to celebrate from the crossover, and got to his home. So I was trying to figure out, like, if I was going to be the only female. So what about your roommates? The female's going
Right.
to come. You know, the girls, oh, yeah, sure, other girls going to be there. So I get there.
Which is a good question for you to ask, especially being in college
Correct.
and knowing your history there
Yes.
too. That was a great question to ask, at least.
And when I got to his home, it was about 7 guys on the sofa. So I automatically went to where the bar area, sat on the bar, and we were just talking, and he was like, oh, you want to play a game? Let's play a game. And we played this game called quarters. You know, it's like you flip
Drinking game?
You flip the coin. If the coin hits into the shot glass, you don't have to take a shot.
Right.
If you miss it, you have to take a shot. I'm not a drinker. Anybody know me? No, I don't drink. So,
That's not a game for a non-drinker.
Oh.
You are definitely right about that.
yeah. So, of course, I miss a lot. So, after a while, the alcohol started making me feel warm, and I started taking off my clothes, being very talkative. So he grabbed me, he scooped me up, took me to the room. He said, sleep it off. Fine. Feel like I'm safe. Got into the bedroom. I wasn't even about 5 or 10 minutes into the room. I felt like hands all over my body. So I started fighting. In the midst of me fighting, and one of the gentlemen had ended up putting his stuff in my mouth, and I bit it. So when I bit it, he slapped me so hard that I blacked out. So I am not knowing the process of what happened. But I recall waking up the following day, and the following day was like that afternoon, about 4 that afternoon. I had throw up in my hair. My underwear was on different. I kept asking a lot of questions. What happened? I started feeling a lot of pain. And the gentleman that brought me to the home, he literally took me into the shower, bathed me, fixed me a meal, and I kept asking all these questions. What happened? And he dropped me back off at the campus. I immediately called my mother and said, come get me. So I left campus for about 2-3 weeks, got back, they was nowhere to be found. And so that was like another piece that I clammed up, not say nothing about it. I
And
think
they were nowhere to be found
nowhere.
on campus.
They left
So I
school.
was going to say, so they fled, really, thinking
Correct.
that you left to go probably go tell,
Correct.
and they were going to get in trouble.
Correct.
Jesus.
But I didn't tell anybody but my mom, because here we go again. It was normal. What did I do to be in that type of position? What caused the factor why it happened? Just feeling like it's, oh, okay, it happened. And
Started a cycle.
started a cycle. Started a cycle.
When you told your mom, at this time, when you told your mom, and then she brought you back to school, how did you feel knowing you had to go right back to that school?
Well, at the time when I was at home, my mother nurtured me. Because we went to the doctor, of course, got all kinds of tests, but she nurtured me, and she told me, you're a fighter, you're strong, let's go, you got to complete this, you know. So she gave me that willpower to go back, because nobody really knew that I knew that they knew what happened. So for me to face my classmates or anything like that, nobody ever said anything. So if a question was asked, of course I would deny it.
Right.
But they thought I had an emergency at home that caused me to stay home for that couple of weeks.
To this day, do you have any recollection of that after going into that room? Do you remember any of it?
All I can remember is what I just told you. That's what I just told you, because I believe God just blocked it out.
Yeah. Also knowing that when
Trauma.
severe trauma happens in your life, it's a natural mechanism to suppress, to literally suppress, to forget. And there's a block of time that you don't remember anything.
It has been my experience just in talking with people. At a point of a traumatic experience, they either remember every detail or they remember none of it.
Right.
And the only thing I can remember is the part of me being half sober.
Right.
So I don't remember anything. That's why I was asking so many questions. What happened? What's going on? Because after a while, after they, progressed, I had a lot of pain. So that's what made me call my mother, just to see like what happened. Of course, I was raped, but I can't tell you how many guys raped me. I can't tell you how many guys did whatever they did. I just knew it was how many guys was there when I entered into the apartment.
Right.
So.
Oh, wow. Heavy. I know that you're probably sitting there the same as we are, is just thinking, my goodness, what she has walked through thus far. But there's so much more to her story. And so we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonja?
Connect with fellow millennials, creatives, professionals, and entrepreneurs within the all-new millennial community. Join in and get connected with local events, volunteer opportunities, and mentorship programs with the next generation. For more information, visit themillennialcommunity.com and become a member today. Membership includes access to special events, networking events, and civic engagement opportunities. Check out our online calendar for upcoming event opportunities, such as Millennial Think Tanks, community building events, the new Sea Live experience, and much more. Members will also be invited to join an online membership group, have opportunities to pair with local students in the Houston community for mentorship programs. Follow us on all social media platforms and get connected with the millennial community today.
Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonja?
We're back, and before the break, we begin to talk with Miss Tanya Lawson in regards to today's topic of the many faces of domestic violence. Her story has been so riveting, and we have been on the verge of tears. So if you missed it, be sure you go back and catch it. We're going to pick up right where we left off with Tanya, and be ready for this.
Tanya, you've taken us now from your childhood to your middle teenage years into college, but there's so much more, because that was really the root of where the domestic violence really began, right?
Right.
But there's husbands involved, and I
Yes.
did say husbands
Yes.
involved. So definitely kind of start there and tell us more. What
Okay.
else?
Well, earlier I did mention about my first husband. He was a bigamist. Of course, his the spirit that he left upon me, I'm sorry, was abandonment. But staying in the gap and believing, I was heavy in church. By this time, I just was praying to God, living. It was just me and my boys, living in this small one-bedroom apartment. I used to always go on the balcony and do my morning worship, praying to God, talking to Him right before I went to work, and just believing and just loving on Him as much as I could, and believing that He was going to send me a man. So 3 years had passed to a point of me standing and believing. And I was a part of a production, working with one of the greatest playwrights here in Houston, and I was her production manager. And I had an opportunity to hire some people that need to work with me behind stage. And this gentleman that came along, he was a little bit younger than me. I ended up hiring him because he was well equipped to move the furniture and things of that nature. And we became friends. And in the process of becoming friends, I was not aware that he was caking on me, loving on me, wanting to be with me type of thing, because my mind was not focusing on seeing men. But in the process, he used to say everything that I would pray to God. So I like, oh my God, this is my husband. This is who you sent for me. And I just felt like it was beautiful. He was the type of man that would, when I went to work, when I got home, dinner was cooked, bath water was ran. I didn't have to worry for nothing, think it was okay. He was a little jealous. I thought it was cute, but not understanding the process.
Yeah, that was a little sign.
That was little signs, but not understanding. Oh, here we go. So we was both was a part of a group, a marriage group, and one particular time we went to a retreat, and it was close to his birthday time. So I went and made plans to celebrate his birthday, and of course the married couples wasn't too much into his celebrating his birthday. They was into themselves.
Right.
But, of course, that's my husband. I want to make it good for him. And we went back to our little room, our little cubby that we had. And I was, in the process of continue to shower him for his birthday. But he got mad. He got mad at me to a point of I couldn't understand why he went off about the other people they wanted to celebrate. So he took it out on me. He pulled out a knife, and he said, "I'm going to kill you." And I'm like, why? So the process of understanding why.
But this was just, you've done it, you've celebrated him, right?
Right.
Then you went back to your room, and of course, as I caught what you said, and you celebrated him. I caught it.
Yeah.
Look, we're wives, we caught it.
Okay.
So you celebrated him, and after celebrating him, he pulls out a knife. Because he was angry because the other couples didn't want to celebrate him?
And not just that, the things that I was doing, he believed that, I cheated on him because I never done it before. So it all kind of came together.
So he didn't realize that these acts you were performing
Yes.
in that moment
Yes.
was
To
just
celebrate him.
for him.
Well, for him.
For him.
So he thought you were messing around
Correct.
because you had never done those things
Correct.
before,
Correct.
not knowing your life beforehand.
Correct.
Wow. Wow. So he just accused you.
He
really.
just accused me.
And this was the first episode of his being violent?
I would say yes. The verbal was already there.
Right.
The arguments was already there.
But the physical altercation, this
The
was the first
physical
time.
art, yes. Him pulling out a knife. Of course, I screamed. I was hollering. He calmed down. We slept the night away. Woke up the next day. Walked in front of all these people. Y'all didn't hear me? What's going on? Couldn't understand, y'all Christian folks, y'all couldn't see nothing. So my mind was like, oh Lord, here we go again. Okay.
You ended up being able to sleep that night in the same room with him, Tanya?
Had no other choice.
Jesus.
He would allow me to go nowhere.
The control.
The control.
You had no
If
choice.
if I
but
walked
to.
out that door, I think it would have been more devastating for me staying in.
Wow.
So we get back home, walking down the sidewalk, and you know, I'm a friendly person, speaking to my neighbors, because they knew me prior before he moved in. Of course, there's another cues of that's who I'm been with. So it kept building.
Right.
It kept building. And so this incident, it wasn't even a week later. I was laying on the floor, like I mentioned to you, I had my boys, so I gave my boys my room. And so our domain was in the living room. And so that's where we lived. And I was laying on the floor, and the lingerie that I had on for his birthday, just had it on, just been at the house laying around. And he came over and he hit me on my buttocks area. And he hit me so hard to the point that I turned and said, please don't do that no more. Because by this time I gained tough skin. And he laughed it off. And he hit me again. So I got off the phone, and I told the person I'd call him back. And I immediately got up and started going to the room to change. Because I felt like, okay, this thing must got a spirit. Because the first time I wore this, he pulled a knife on me. I don't know what's going to happen this time. So I was like,
You thought it was because of what you had
what
on.
I had on.
I don't want to
said,
trigger what happened last time.
No, I don't want to trigger what happened last time. Let me go ahead and change. So in the midst of me going to the room to change, he was yapping off at the mall. So I said, oh, since you think I'm cheating, I was butt naked, walked to the balcony, opened up the blinds, and stood there and say, okay, since you think everybody want me, here I am.
Tanya.
Yes.
In the midst of this moment?
In the midst of this moment.
He crazy already, right?
Right.
Oh,
but
Lord.
I'm even crazier.
Ah.
So he tried to pick me up and throw me over the balcony. But whatever God placed upon me, like heavyweight, he could not move. Now, mind you, he was a big stature. So he couldn't move me. So I went to the room to go ahead and put some clothes on. He's still yapping. So we get to the point of him in my face and threatened me. And all of a sudden, I started praying in my heavenly language and started praying and asking God to come in because I saw it building. And he hit me in my throat. And when he hit me in my throat, you know, that's like you lose your breath. And when he hit me, I went into an area to try to catch my breath. By this time, he went and got my son's bat. He was swinging the bat, telling me, I'm going to kill you today, you know, and threatened me. And my head was going to get busted in and stuff like that. So he went to when he swung the bat, I grabbed the bat and I ejected from it and I called his name. And when I called his name, I told him to come forth. And when he came forth, he started crying. Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, after that, we went to go make love. I know this sounds crazy, but we went to go make love. And in the process of we making love, I'm crying. And I'm like, Lord, how can I get out of this? What can I, because I know by this time, the next time is not going to be easy.
You already know there will be a next time.
Yes.
I did.
Tanya, did you tell me if I'm right or not,
Okay.
what I'm hearing. It became a control mechanism. Sex became a control mechanism instead of them controlling you with sex the way that they did. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that in the midst of that moment, you knew that if you had sex with him, that would calm him for the moment?
Yes. Because that was my weapon.
My God.
That was my weapon. Because I felt like I was a pro at it. I was going to make you to the point of, okay, let me just give you what I think you want, and it's going to be okay.
But it fixed it for the moment. But
For
you
the
knew
moment.
that it was going to happen again.
So we was church-going people. So that happened on a Saturday evening. Of course, at the time, we didn't have transportation. I had one of my dear friends to come pick us up on Sunday morning. And once we ended up having sex, I got up, I took a shower, and went to the kitchen, and he asked me to fix him some Kool-Aid. I didn't want to fix this guy no Kool-Aid.
Right.
So I pushed the pitcher, poured the sugar till I felt like it was halfway, did a little, put here's your Kool-Aid. He said, oh, so that's how we're going to do it? So he went to go get, I had like a lantern with the oil, and he went to go get the lantern. And in my mind, I'm like, what is he about to do? And God said, get ready. So during this time, he pulled me out of the kitchen. He dashed oil on me. And then he went to light me up. And you say, he crazy? All thing I remember, my mother always told me, if somebody act crazy with you, you act crazier. So I act crazier. You know, I feel like I'm one of the greatest actors. I performed that day. And when I act crazier, he stopped what he was doing, asking me, was I okay? And
you shocked him.
yeah. So he never seen that side of me. So he just proceeded we went on the rest of the day. I went and I said, since he was controlling me, I couldn't wear makeup. You know, my hair, I couldn't, fix my hair the way I wanted. And my hair was longer. So I couldn't fix it. I always wore ponytails. So I went to go fix myself up. I said, tomorrow at church, okay, this is going to be a new life for me. Went to go fix myself up, put a perm on my hair, wore bright colors, was ready for the morning. So my friend came pick me and the boys up, and of course him, and we proceeded to go to church. And come to find out, when I got to the church, I ran into one of my old classmates that was a guest at the church as far as a musician, and he grabbed me, hugged me, loved on me. Hey, long time no see. Of course,
As a friend.
As a friend.
Right.
Of course, my husband at the time thought this was one of the guys I was sleeping with. So here we go again. So I really ignored him. Like, didn't want to hear what he was saying. I wasn't too much around him because I didn't want to hear all the negative or anything. I didn't want to hear none of that. So after church, we got in the car, and on the way, of course, he started bringing all that up. My friend did not believe in the cussing, did not believe in the swearing. I had the boys in the car, don't do this in front of the kids. So she told him if he continued, then she was going to put him out. So he continued. So she pulled off on the side of the freeway, not on the feeder, but actually on the freeway, Lee Road 59, going that way. And she pulled off and told him to get out. So when he got out of the car, he said, Tanya, you coming? I looked like, So, oh, you gonna do that? So she drove off. We went over to my Medea house, and we was, of course, I was letting her know everything that went on, what was going on. She was a spiritual mother, so she was really praying and interceding on my behalf. And we got a phone call from my pastor. My friend did, got a phone call from the pastor and said, where's Tanya? And she said, well, we over at Medea house. Well, you need to take Tanya to the house to get her stuff to never go back, because I dropped him off on the south end of town, and he said he's going to come and kill her. So we automatically got in the car, drove straight to the apartment. My boys, they got all
Picked
they
up a
need.
few things.
And in the midst of us getting everything we need, you know how you be in a movie and you feel that dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
At one particular time, me and my boys looked at each other. We just knew. My boys jumped over the balcony to go get in Trace's car. I'm a little fat, so I don't want to jump over my balcony.
You are so crazy.
No. So I got everything I needed, and I ran down the stairs, ran around, and by the time I got to the car, I saw him flip the lights with the gun, calling out my name.
Nobody but God.
Nobody but God.
Yeah.
Nobody but God.
But in the midst of all of that, Tanya, no one called the police.
Nobody.
No one. He's threatening to kill you, and no one calls the police. We're going to take a quick break just because we want you to say, did you hear that? Someone threatened her life, and no one, the people around her that loved her, did not take the time to pick up the phone and call the police. So what I'm telling you is, if that's happening, please, and you see it, please don't let someone be in the midst of that situation and you not be the one to pick up the phone. Because what happened with her, she received a blessing and got out of it. and she's sitting here with us today. But that may not be the situation for that other person. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for couch time with Sonja?
Hey guys, it's Tiara Elise, and I'm here with entrepreneur Dawn Keys, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her business.
Yes, I'm Dawn Keys, the founder of Shared Smiles by DM. My business offers handcrafted items that I've used as part of therapy in my journey. I create these smiles if God has smiled on me. I'm recovering from a brain disease called Chiari malformation, and our passion and our goal is to bring awareness to this disease and also share smiles with others along the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mrs. Dawn. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Baby, 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 your man is home and I am starving.
Hey, babe.
Where's my love? Baby, I'm so excited. We got the biggest client ever.
What are you doing here? I have every right to be here.
Yeah, girl, I got some TEA for you.
I don't know why my son even married a trifling hussy like you anyway. Oh, let's go, girl. Yes. I told you, I need you to take me to the doctor. I can't go on much longer like this.
The Neiman account has pulled.
When? Why?
Now, I told you, I ain't taking you to no doctor. Now, I'm just getting home and I'm excited about this major contract and the money that's going to be rolling in from it.
Are you ready for couch time with Sonja?
We're back with today's episode of Domestic Violence and its Many Faces. And it has been a very difficult 2 segments before this. If you missed any of it, be sure you go back and catch it. Tanya's story has been amazing, and it's not over. We have so much more to learn before we leave today, so let's jump right in.
The power of just knowing the goodness of God and truly how he saved and spared your life multiple times.
Yes.
But the realization of it was you were really so used to the abuse that it became such your norm.
Correct.
That's what you expected. So you were attracted to men, is that right? Is that what I hear? You're attracted to men that were abusers, but you didn't realize all the signs were there. You just were ignoring the signs because of what you were used to.
Yes. And
Wow.
believing that the signs was normal.
Right.
So if I see the signs, I'm going to automatically gravitate to what's, oh, he liked me. Oh, this cute. Yes, that's what.
Needing the attention because of the abandonment as well.
Yes.
You were wanting and needing the attention.
Yeah.
You know? So I can definitely see why you would constantly be drawn that way.
We keep going back to it became your norm. And that's what happens with our audience. Some of you, you're accepting this because it's your normal. I hope that you're recognizing these signs and realizing they're not normal, and find a safe place to go and get yourself out of this situation.
Yes, definitely. Well, we know that you have taken your pain and turned it into purpose. And I'm so excited for the world to get the opportunity to really see and know your purpose now, because you've opened your mouth as you have today, because your story matters. Everything you've walked through, your story matters, and everybody needs to hear it.
Yes.
So what are you doing now? Even though you've walked through all that, and there's so much we know that we are missing out of the story, but that's purposed as well. Tell us what you're doing with your story now.
Well, God has blessed my hand to write a play called Before I Knew You. And the play is about domestic violence. So each part of my life, I have put little nuggets inside this play. Nobody knows, because this is actually my first time ever sitting somewhere and talking about it.
Wow.
So when people see things of my work, they're not knowing that it was related to something that
You
I personally experienced or been through something with someone else. So this is giving me an opportunity as a writer to express, to become whole, become healed, and understanding my purpose in everything. So with the play, I have to sit back and say, wow, Lord, you allowed me to write this? And it's so, to me, it's so great. It's so good. It talks about it talks about domestic violence. It talks about word curses, because sometimes we talk about things and we allow the words to become our life. What somebody else done said, or like my mother and my father and my ex-husbands and things like that. Like, I'm no good. This is not. You're not gonna be anything. So these things came play into my life. So I wrote about it. So the play is about a tragic woman that can become triumphant through the birth of her child. Just sit back and wait and see how it unfolds. I'm excited.
My God. Well, we definitely want you to just take a moment, and we want you to watch a clip, just a snippet of the play before I know you.
Baby, are you ready?
Ready?
Baby, close your eyes.
Okay.
All right, they closed?
Yeah, they're closed. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know I don't like surprises. Babe, what's going on?
Open your eyes there.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
honey.
Look at that there. Got some of this good fruit for you. Watch out. Look at that. You can't be moving around too quick now. You know that.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Put the feet up there. Come on. Let's take these off.
Oh, honey, I'm so loving this.
Baby, I love you. And baby, I know I've been a real jerk lately, but I want to make it up to you. I'm sorry.
That you have. Why can't it always be like this? This is a side that I love of you, Marcus. This is the man that I fell in love with.
Baby, you know what? Baby, I'm sorry. And baby, you've been holding it down around the house.
Well, what can I say?
You know what, baby?
Baby, listen. I've turned off all the phones so we could have some QT one-on-one time. Just me and you. Are you expecting anyone?
No. Are you?
No.
Who is it?
It's me, Miss Jones.
Miss Jones, what's she?
Hey, Miss Jones. How you doing?
Ooh, whipped cream and chocolate covered strawberries. Did I interrupt something? I almost thought y'all weren't at home because it's so quiet and dark up in here.
Well, what brings you by, Miss Jones?
Well, I need to call Metro to get me a ride because I ran out of cell phone minutes.
Well, our phone's off, Miss Jones. I don't know what to tell you. Let me get this.
Marcus, baby, don't be too long.
Okay.
Sorry, Miss Jones. We don't mean to rush you or anything, but here, you can use my phone. Because, girl, you know
I know you want to get your groove on, girl. I ain't mad at you. What, y'all trying to have another baby?
Just use the phone.
Oh, let me hurry up, girl. Hello, Metro Lift? Yes, it's me. Yes, you know the address. Great. Pick me up in 15 minutes.
You good?
Yes, girl. Stella, get your groove back, girl.
Bye, girl.
Baby, the coast clear?
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Come on over here, my fine, handsome, chocolate, caramel
Watch
drop.
out now. Now back to where we were.
Yes.
Baby, what? Who could that be?
I don't know. Who is it?
It's me, Autumn.
Hey, Autumn.
Hey.
What brings you by?
Autumn, everything okay at the office?
Neither one of you came into the office today.
Oh, well, Autumn, because we got work to do here.
Boy, go on. We have company.
Okay, listen. You take care of that. I'll be back, all right?
Baby, can you bring me back some coffee, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie.
So this is why y'all didn't come into work today.
Oh, I'm sorry, Autumn. What brings you by?
Well, you have to sign these checks. You know, bright and early, these folks going to be calling to see if these checks are ready.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow is payday.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
And you need a couple more documents signed for the Neiman account.
Okay.
And just sign right there.
Thank you.
And here are your meeting notes for next week.
Oh, thank you, Autumn. What would I do without you?
Thank you, Miss Maxwell. I really enjoy working for Global Graphics.
Well, we are glad to have you. You are an asset to the team.
Well, let me get out of here. You know I have lots of work to do.
Who is it?
It's me, LaWanna, girl. Open the door.
What? Hey, girl, why you knocking on my door so crazy? Are the po-pos after you? Bye, Autumn. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, friend.
Hey, girl.
Now guess what?
Hi, girl.
I got a surprise for you.
A surprise?
I
For
did,
me?
for you.
Is it money?
You tried it. I just borrowed $50 from you yesterday. You know it can't be no money.
True. What is it, girl?
Okay, hold on. Just, yeah.
Okay. All these surprises.
Last night I told Luana not to tell you.
She finally kept a secret.
I know how to keep secrets. No secrets, girl.
Oh my God! So what's this? What's all this?
A surprise baby shower. Surprise!
Wait. I can have this baby shower.
What you mean? You deserve this baby shower. You do so much for others.
What? No, wait a minute. Is this why you borrowed the $50 from me yesterday?
Yes.
No, you should have told me this is what it was for.
Why? Then it wouldn't have been a surprise.
Now, Trina, you don't seem to be happy. What's wrong?
Well, I'm happy, but I'm sad.
Sad?
Why?
Y'all wouldn't understand.
You know what? Don't even worry about anything, okay? Because we about to get crunk for you up in here. I learned a new word. It's going to be epic.
Yes,
I learned a new word.
Yeah, it is. And so, girl, we have a lot of fun games.
We do.
Playing with surprises.
And we invited all your friends and your haters so they can see you glow up. You know, I did that. So come on, Candace, let's go get the rest of the bag.
No, wait. Y'all have to take this stuff with you now. Like, right now. You take this with you.
No, you tripping. You deserve this. Come on, girl. Let's go get the rest of the stuff. No. It's going
No. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, God, please help me. Oh, Lord, please show me your love and kindness. Marcus will be home in a minute, and if he sees this stuff, he is going to be livid.
Hey, I just saw your friends leaving, going to the car.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
What'd they say?
nothing, because they didn't see you.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is going on here?
No, Marcus, listen. This is all Luana's idea. This is not my fault, baby. Please don't be mad at me.
How many times I gotta tell you?
Marcus, no, please.
You act like you're gonna listen.
Please, no.
I told you! No, baby, stop! I tell you that! I told you! Baby, stop! You act like you don't listen, huh? You act like you don't listen! How many times did I tell you that? How many times, huh?
Please, Marcus.
How many times did I tell you? You act like you're gonna listen! You learn! Why do you make me do this?
Marcus,
I'm gonna take a pulse. I can't hear it. I tell you I can't hear it.
Pulse. Please come. Yes.
Where is she? Where is she?
Where's who, ma'am?
My daughter. My daughter. Trina. Maxwell, I'm looking for her.
She's in surgery right now. Please have a seat over here and I'll update
Oh,
you.
my
as soon as possible.
baby. Oh, God. Can somebody tell me what happened?
Well, I don't know, but what I do know is I heard sirens and I saw those ambulances and I said, Metro, turn around and follow those lights, because I had to come see what was going on.
Now, please.
What did I do? What did I do?
Marcus, what's wrong? I rushed over as fast as I could. Oh. Wait. Baby, what's wrong?
Mama, it's bad.
Okay, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Marcus?
Mama, I came home and it was this baby stuff and I left and I came back and she was blacked out, Mama. She was laying right here and then she was gone.
Gone where, Marcus?
I don't know.
You did it again, didn't you? Just like Robin.
Yes, ma'am. But this time worse. Mom, I think I'm gonna really go down for this. And my mom already on papers. Ain't she pregnant?
It doesn't matter if she's pregnant. That baby ain't yours anyway.
Mom.
What? You did get a vasectomy, didn't you?
No, ma'am, I didn't go through with it.
Well, it really doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, that baby isn't yours. Not from that trifling hussy anyway.
Mama, it is mine. I know that. I know she carrying my baby. I just gotta find out where she is.
Okay. I'm gonna go find out where she is. Go!
Miss Joyce, we've been here for 30 minutes and no one has came out yet.
Listen, can somebody just tell me what happened? How did my daughter even end up here?
Man, I wish I knew, because if I did, I'd be able to tell you. But by the looks of
Well, Miss Jones, you weren't there.
LaWanna and I was just there to host a surprise baby shower, and...
Was Marcus there?
No, that low down, dirty son of a... He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. So, Miss Joyce, so I think he came back whenever we actually went back to the car to get the rest of the things, because when we came back...
Maybe we came back, we just seen her. She was laid out, all on the ground, blooded and bleeding up, and she looked real bad. She looked real bad.
I guess he was mad because of the baby show.
He was. But you wait. You wait till I catch him. We gonna see who gonna end up in this hospital, or better yet, 6 feet deep.
See, I saw Trina when I got out that bus. I went over there to spy on my other next door neighbor, Sally, and she had another neighbor coming out her house, and it was a girl.
Will you just please hush? Now is not the time. We should be praying. My daughter and my grandbaby lives are in jeopardy right now. Jesus. What are you doing here?
I have every right to be here.
You know this is all your son's fault.
My son?
Yes, your son. I never liked him from the jump. He ain't no real man, because real men don't put their hands on women.
Well, now, you can't be blaming this on my son. Because if it wasn't for your daughter provoking him, she wouldn't be in this hospital. I wish.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Help me not to slap the taste out of this woman.
Help Mama give me strength, because I'm about to be a
No. Wait, y'all. Stop. We don't need all this. We just need to focus on Trina and the baby and making sure that they pull through. Y'all, we just need to pray. Come on, let's pray. Let's just pray. Come on.
Trina Maxwell's family?
Yes.
How you doing?
Baby, please.
Trina's in stable condition. We've done all we can. So far, she's gonna be okay. She got broken ribs, swollen eyes, and she's beat up pretty badly. It's gonna be a miracle if the baby makes it through this. But we're definitely gonna do all we can. I'll be back shortly with another update.
Thank you. Thank you.
I sure pray the baby make it. Thank you, Jesus.
Mama.
Right.
Look who decided to show up. You got your nerve.
Well. If it isn't Mr. Beat and Run.
Listen, get out of my face.
Now what you gonna do? Come on, hit me. Knock me out. Come on.
You okay?
Come
son?
on.
You okay? You okay, son?
Wait. Did you just ask him, was he okay? My daughter laying in there with broken ribs, bruises all over her body, and you asked him, was he okay?
Listen, that ain't our problem. That ain't my mom's problem either.
That ain't your problem. Oh, it's gonna be a problem if my grandbaby don't pull through. Best to believe that. I promise you that.
Listen, we were able to deliver the baby.
Oh, thank you,
We
Lord.
got the card unwrapped.
Thank you.
There's a few complications, but everything will be well.
Thank you, God.
Shortly, we're gonna have you all come back in about 10 minutes or so. Only 4 at a time, though.
That's okay. This is gonna be us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Marcus Maxwell. You're under arrest for 2 counts of attempted murder.
What?
You have the right to remain silent.
What?
Anything you
Thank
say
you, God.
can and will be used
Hold on, Mama.
in the court of law.
Hold on, Mama.
Yes,
I can't go to jail. Mama, I can't go to jail, Mama.
You
Mama, I can't go to jail, Mama.
You understand?
Mama, I can't go to jail, Mama.
I hope your ass rot in jail. Oh, thank God I'm saved, sanctified, and delivered.
Oops, I hear the soap dropping now.
You just wait. I'm not finished with this family. I promise I'm gonna get you. Marcus! Marcus! Oh, your mama is on the way.
Are you ready for couch time with Sonja?
One of the most important events in life is having a baby. The closest hospital may not be the best choice for your family. Now, there's Stork Advisor. With Stork Advisor, you can keep your loved ones informed. There's a labor alert right at your fingertips. Stork Advisor even offers you a different pregnancy tip every day. After you've had your baby, tell us about your experience and leave a Stork rating. We want to keep other expecting families like you informed. With Stork Advisor, you can know what to expect when you're expecting.
I'm ready for this. Are you ready for couch time with Sonja?
There's nothing complicated about our food. There are no fillers and no artificial ingredients. It's made fresh and it's made with you in mind. Simply put, we make incredible comfort foods. We specialize in that slow, home-cooked taste, whether it's our brisket, smoked chicken, ribs, or links. You're gonna love every bite. We've been perfecting incredible comfort foods for over 10 years, and we've got it down. Great tasting comfort food at a great price. We even cater. So pick up the phone or visit us on Facebook. Be sure and ask about our funnel cakes and our famous sweet and spicy pickles too. It's hard to resist great food, especially when it's incredible comfort foods.
Are you ready for couch time with Sonja?
Wow, that's really all that I can say. There's so much more Tanya Y. Lawson's story, but of course, an episode, and we really don't have all the time to be able to share it all because we want you to go and see the play. We do not want you to miss it. What an amazing cast. I mean, totally amazing. Actors, actresses, y'all did an amazing job, but there's so much more to it. So we want you to tell them when the play is, where it's going to be, the times, where they can get tickets, please.
Yes, we will perform at the Encore Theater, April the 11th, 12th, and the 13th. The show times will be at 8 o'clock. We have 2 shows on Saturday, which is at 3 o'clock and also at 8 o'clock. And we will have shows on the 25th, 26th, and the 27th as well. You can purchase the tickets at beforeiKnewYouPlay.com. Come and check us out.
And what we're going to do, just because if you've sat through this entire episode, I know that it touched you because it definitely did us. So what we're doing is if you're watching right now, put your information below, your name, your phone number, and your email, and we will draw because we're going to send 2 people to the play, and we will take care of your ticket so that you can watch this yourself.
Today's episode has been very difficult to watch, very difficult to be a part of, but people need to hear this. This is happening. And if it's happening to you and you don't know where to turn, we will provide some information, some avenues for you to have a safe place to go. We thank you for your time. We hope that this reached you at some point in the episode. We look forward to the next one. We thank you for joining us. Until the next time of the episode of Couch Time with Sonia. Goodbye.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonia? I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonia? Sometimes you need to hear something that will help you grow, or maybe need a break, refreshing for your mind and soul. Well, take a seat, 'cause we got what you need and more. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Are you ready for Couch Time with Sonia?
It's Couch Time with Sonia. Let's go.